Hi there. It's been a while. So we have made some changes to our garden. Um, we took, we got some raised beds. They look like this. They are 2 by 6 and about a foot deep. And then we put some wood chips in the walkways. And during the summer, it was really hard to deal with the in-ground space just because the soil here is so clayey. So after the summer, we took the opportunity to rethink the whole garden, and this is the plan forward. If you hear any funny noises, Sophia's right there. Yeah. So today we are on the last week of October, and we are planting some garlic. So I ordered some garlic from M.I. Gardener, and I have both our hardneck garlics. I've got the chestnut red, 5 bulbs of that, and the music. I believe that's how you pronounce it, like the word, like music to your ears. And both of them are hardneck. So it is my understanding that the way that you would plant it is you break it up, you can make sure that you're not taking more paper off than you need to. You want some of that bottom root to be there. There's gonna be the root part and then the pointy part. We're gonna plant it just like this, about a couple inches. Yes, a couple inches down, because we're gonna mulch the rest of the way. So I got this tool hopefully to help me. If not, I would just use my hands. I'll see if I like it. I just got it. I haven't used it, not once. So, but I saw someone else use it and say that it's helpful. So we'll see. I got my tabs and here, so that way I know which one is which, even though music is all white and then chestnut red, hence the name, has some kind of red striping. Both of these are hardneck. I understand that hardneck don't store as long as softneck, but I wanted to give it a try. I don't know much about this. This is my second time growing garlic. The first time we were living in Puerto Rico, and I didn't know that the garlic has to go through a winter in order to bulb. So I planted the garlic bulbs, and they grew, but they just didn't bulb into multiples. So the garlic has to go through more than a few nights or days of extreme cold. I want to say it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit that it has to go through or more. And so I don't know the word. It's that's how I'm gonna say it. Fertilization, something like that. I probably have it here. I don't know what it says. Where would it say it? So anyways, it has to go through the planting, through a cold spell, basically, so that way it can create multiple bulbs, not just one big bulb. It was still, the one that I planted in Puerto Rico was still edible. It just didn't look like this, it looked like a big bulb. A way that you could do it if you live in a warm climate is to put it in the fridge, not the freezer, in the fridge, so that way it can think that it's in winter, and then when you go and plant it, it's actually gonna bulb. So yeah, so we're gonna, the garlic is supposed to be about 4 inches apart, or 6 inches apart, something like that. let's see. Yeah, where does it say? Yeah. My garlic, 4 inches apart. So that way it has enough space to grow. And so that's what we're gonna do. And I think, let's see, this is a little bit like 4 inches. So we're gonna go off the side of each of the side of the bed, and we're gonna go 4 inches, and we're gonna stick this in here about 2 inches down. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back and put some mulch over it, so that way it's nice and insulated. Of course, before I finish off for the day, I'm gonna water it in, and then throughout the winter just make sure that it doesn't dry out. We don't have very high temps right now, or the sun is not like beaming, so I'm not afraid that the soil is going to dry out. But you don't really have, supposedly you don't have to water it that much. It should do its thing with the ones, I'm coming, honey, with the initial watering, and then the mulch, the soil should retain the moisture. All right, so I'm gonna get to planting. I'm gonna take care of the baby and then get to planting. So I just finished making all the holes with these. This is kind of nice to use. It's a good spacer, and when you dab in, it makes a nice little hole for the garlic, so that way I don't have to like dig. And but yeah, so I planted 11 rows of 3, or I don't know, how do you want to count it? But there's basically 3 going this way, and it's 11 going that way. So that we've planted 33 of the variety called Music. So now I'm gonna go back in and cover it with a little bit of the soil, and then I'm gonna mulch it. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna mulch it with some wood chips. Not those are too fresh, but I have some wood chips here that are already a few months old, and so I don't know whether I'm gonna mulch it with that, or my husband is at Tractor Supply getting some Easy Straw, maybe, because the last time we went they didn't have any, and so you'll see it eventually whether it's Easy Straw or not, but that's the plan. And I need to put something over this because the chickens are gonna get to it eventually if I don't. Whew. Chickens don't know boundaries. All right. All right, so here is the chestnut red. So as you can see from the top, I did 3 rows, and then whatever it is, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then down here I have 2 lonely ones. I don't know how I didn't get the same amount of holes as the other one, but I did notice that the chestnut red ones were smaller bulbs. I'm coming, honey. Were smaller bulbs, and not all of them looked all that great. So some of them looked a little funky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cook with the rest of these. All right, well, there you go. That is the garlic planting, and then I'm gonna cover these up and mulch them. All right, so Steve was able to get the Easy Straw. So so I planted this whole bed of chestnut red, this whole bed of Music. I watered it in, and now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put about 3 inches of the Easy Straw on top. So on that one, like I said before, I did 11 rows of 3, so that was 33. Over here I did 12 of 3, so that's 36, and then I was able to get 2 random ones at the end, so that's a total of 38. So hopefully we'll get 38 chestnut red bulbs and 33 music bulbs. Now the music bulbs were a lot bigger. They looked great, like the way that they broke off the hard neck. Basically none of the paper around each bulb really peeled off, so I think that that one's gonna be more successful. However, the chestnut red, not so much. So the bulbs were smaller, and that I had more bulbs, I had more cloves, I mean. The cloves were smaller, not the bulbs. The cloves were smaller, but I had more of them, and I took some inside the house. I'm gonna cook with those. However, they did not look as good as the music ones. The chestnut red ones, when I went to take them up, pull them apart, when I went to pull the bulbs apart, a lot of the paper in between the bulbs came off. So I'm afraid that that's gonna cause some rotting, or it's gonna bring the protection that each clove has down. But I guess we'll see in the spring, well, early summer. I think if I'm planting them the last week of October, so if I have my calculations right, we should be taking these out of the ground around the last week of June. We'll see. They tell us what they want to do. I am gonna fertilize them. I added blood meal and I added compost to this raised bed mix. So I purchased this soil from a local place. I've purchased soil from them before, not a raised bed mix, but like in-ground. When we did the in-ground garden in the summer, I had purchased some soil to add to this clay soil, and in general I think it was good. I didn't see any signs of herbicide. Everything grew well as well as it could, with clay and a neglecting gardener, and so we got a lot of stuff out of that garden, and we've used their mulch before, so I'm confident that there's no herbicide in this raised bed mix, and so hopefully we'll get good, nice big bulbs in this late spring, early summer, I guess. So now what I'm gonna do, like I said, put 3 inches of straw on top of everything. And wear my gloves because I don't like these. Oh, and this is a knee saver, by the way. It helps out so much, especially with these wood chips. Should have brought a knife.